Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have a BENU pen comparison here today. So I have 10 pens for comparison, just to show what the brand offers. I do have reviews of all of these pens available, or if not available at the moment, they are coming soon. So I just thought I would go through these and just show a little bit of a comparison, a little bit of a size sort of comparison, and also sort of just talk through each of the models. Now, I'm not going to do any writing sample with these because I will be doing writing samples or have done writing samples already. So please just bear that in mind. So you won't see any writing samples here today. So from left to right, we have the BENU Minima Magma. We have a BENU Briolette Snow Season, a BENU Briolette Yolanda, a BENU Charming Chameleon, the BENU Supreme Symphony, the BENU Scepter, and this is Scepter number 1, BENU Scepter number 3, the BENU Scepter number 6, the BENU Grand Scepter number 12, and the BENU Grand Scepter number 11. So I think let's take a look at these in a little bit more detail. So this is the BENU Minima Magma, and this is actually quite for me, a short pen. So you can see here in the length of my hand, it's quite a short pen. Now if I unscrew the cap, you will see just how short this is when I'm holding the section. Now, these do not post the Minima Magmas. They all come with a number 5 Schmidt steel nib. All of the BENUs so far come with steel nibs. Majority of them come with number 5 nibs. However, BENU are now starting to branch out into number 6 Schmidt nibs. Now, all of these are very light, thin plastic. They all do have screw threads as well. So the idea behind the sort of BENU range is that you have sometimes plain sort of colour designs and sometimes some quite nice sort of varying colour designs, but you get this sort of gold glitter approach going on there in the pen. So this one, the Minima Magma, has a whole load of sort of red and I'd say rose gold glitter going on. Now, the glitter on the BENU pens are not on the surface, they are under the surface layer. So they do have a lacquer on top, and you can see that if I shine the light there by moving the pen, you'll see that it's a perfectly flat, smooth finish. You do get the name BENU here on the cap band, and the bands or the caps. So the bands on the pen tend to be quite large, but also the caps tend to be quite large as well. Now, all of the BENUs so far are cartridge or cartridge converter. This one, because it's so small, the Minima Magna, you do have to have a short international cartridge. It won't take an international cartridge converter. You probably can get a smaller converter like a Kaweco squeeze converter maybe to fit that pen, or maybe another small converter that doesn't need like a full length international converter. The next pen I have here is part of the Briolette range, and this is the Snow Season. And this is a really gorgeous white pen with lovely silver glitter going on there. Now, the Briolettes do actually have this diamond facet going on around the whole of the pen. And I have to say, I do like it. I do like some of the colour coordinations that BENU are doing here with the glitter versus the pen. I think a gold glitter on a white sort of base layer probably wouldn't have looked as nice as the silver does. Now, these are a little bit larger than the Minima Magmas. Again, though, it still has a number 5 Schmidt nib. but this is a cartridge converter pen, so you can get a full international converter in there, and you do actually get that come with the pen along with a long cartridge as well, which helps you get started if you don't have any bottled ink. But I really do like this sort of briolette range. Now, because of the diamond facets, you will see here that you cannot post these caps. They're not designed to be posted. So if you want a longer pen, then this probably is not the right pen for you if you want to post your caps. I have another briolette here, and this is the Yolanda, and I do like this. It's a very sort of purpley colour, base colour, but you also have these sort of like ice chips in the base layer of the body there, in the resin. And then it's accentuated by the gold glitter there, which I think again works really, really well. So again, this is a cartridge converter pen, so if I unscrew this, you can have an international converter there, and it also comes with a large international cartridge as well. These do again still have number 5 size nibs, and you cannot post these caps, unfortunately. But in terms of the size of my hand, I think this is actually not a bad size. Even if I hold it sort of closer to the section there, or to the nib, and even if I hold it sort of further up here on the threads, it's still a fairly good size pen for me with large hands. The next pen in the range is the Chameleon, and this is called the Charming Chameleon. And the chameleons basically change colour depending on how the light reflects off of them. So you will see a slight change and a slight variation there of colour going on. Now, you do have these little cut-ins into the body, which do kind of look a little bit strange at first light, but if I unscrew the body, which is a screw thread, you can click that in place, and the cap will then post, and it actually makes it quite a nice long pen for posting. So if you do like a long pen but not a weighty back-weighted pen, then this may be the pen for you. Again, it comes with a number 5 size Schmidt nib. These are all steel nibs, and it comes with an international cartridge converter and also an international long cartridge in the box as well. So for me, this is a really good size pen. I do actually like this. It's a little bit strange. So you do have these really large cap bands going on here. But it's also strange that it's a screw thread, but a click on when posting the cap. And if you look, the Chameleon is actually the same length as the Yolanda there, the Briolettes. The next pen is the BENU Supreme Symphony. And this is just a plain sort of greeny, tealy, turquoisey, I guess, colour. And then you have all of this sort of glitter going on. And you have a mix of black and gold and green and silver. And it's actually quite a nice array of glitter. Now, the shape of the pen is actually tapered down a lot towards the end here. And then it tapers out massively to the cap. Again, this is screw threads, but it does actually have a number 6 size nib, which is a little bit different for BENU, and they typically go for a number 5 size nib. Does again come with an international converter and also a long international cartridge in the box. Now, in terms of the size of my hand, it's actually a really good size, and if I post the cap, it actually feels quite natural. So if you do like to post your caps, I think that's fine. Just like the other BENUs, this glitter here is actually under the surface, so it is not sort of going to get scratched very easy. If I show the light there, you'll just see how smooth that pen is on top of the glitter. So this is another model that they have in their range. And then we're on to the slightly newer models, and these are the Scepters and the Grand Scepters. And I really do like these. So these are a scepter, or like a wand, a staff. These are really nice pens. They have a mix of colours going on. So this one is the BENU Scepter number 1. Now these are all done in Roman numerals, but this is number 1, and so this starts off as red, and then goes to a dark blue here, and then back to a red, and I really like that contrast going on there. And then it's dispersed with a lot of gold glitter throughout the body here, and for me that is a really nice touch. You also have the very large BENU cap bands. The only thing that sort of puts me off a little bit on these are the number 5 size Schmidt nibs. I am more really liking the number 6 nibs. I also find the number 5 nibs tend to have thinner sections as well. But you can see the difference here between the section and then the actual body here at the end of the pen. Now, these are, if I unscrew the body here, international converters, so you can put bottled ink in this pen and ink it up, and it also comes with a large international cartridge as well. So for me this is actually quite nice. Now clearly you can't post these caps, they're not designed to do so. So if you're a cap poster, then maybe the Scepters and the Grand Scepters will not be for you. But I do just love this material. This really is a beautiful material. And then we have another one. This is again a BENU Scepter, and this is number 3. So this is a little bit of a sort of strange blend. It starts off as a sort of a purplish colour, and then goes a little bit lighter towards a pink, and then a little bit more of a pinkish red or a rose red, and then back out again to a purple. But I do like that. I like that colour sort of play with the blending there, and then obviously it's accentuated with a lot of gold glitter as well. And you can just see that gold glitter there. And again, as always, the glitter is under the surface and lacquer is applied, and then it's polished to a very high standard. You do have the BENU cap band there, and again, these do not post. They're not designed to post. They're not going to post. And these are, like the first one, an international converter, and these converters just push on. So again, you get that with the pen, and you also get a long international cartridge as well. But I like these. I like the design of these. I like the shape. I like the colour, and I like the glitter in them. Personally, they are pens that do actually appeal to me. And then we have the BENU Scepter number 6, and I would say that I'm sort of torn between number 1 and number 6 here in colours. I like both very much. This is really a lovely sort of silvery, glittery pen all over. If it's not silver glitter, it's gold glitter, and I like that a lot in this pen. So for me, this one definitely is a winner, and it's a pen that I do like a lot in their range. And again, if I unscrew this, it comes with an international converter. I'll plug that one in as well. These are not threaded converters, so they just push into place. There's a lot of threads there. And again, these are number 5 Schmidt nibs as well. So for me, I do like it. It's a really great pen. I do like these. I guess the only thing that I would say about these, because I like larger pens, is that I kind of wish that these were longer. And when I say longer, I mean longer. I would like to see them probably about maybe another 2 centimeters longer, almost. Maybe 1.5 centimeters. because it's sort of coming on for an inch, because I tend to like the longer pens, and for me, I think that would be really nice if they were a little bit longer. And then we come on to the Grand Scepters. Now, this is Grand Scepter number 12, and this really is a nice pen. It's a phosphorus pen, so the ends glow in the dark after a period of time. And I will show you a picture of this now, and you can just see there how that pen glows in the dark. So these are the Grand Scepters. So these are larger in theory. They have a number 6 size nib, and it's a Schmidt nib again, steel nib. And you'll see there again a large international converter, and it also comes with a large international cartridge as well. And clearly you cannot post these caps, it's not designed to do so. Now I find this a little bit more comfortable in my hand. If I compare these two side by side, you may see a big difference here. One in the size of the nib, and two in the section, because the nib is a little bit wider at the base of the nib, and you need a slightly wider section. And I would also say that the bodies are just, they feel or look so they might be slightly wider. But in terms of length, these are the same length. So even though they're called the Grand, it's not actually a larger pen as such. Now, what you can do that I noticed is, because they are exactly the same size, exactly the same cap threads, you can, if you wanted to, intermingle the caps. So if you actually have two different pens, either in the normal scepter or the Grand Scepter, and you wanted to mix the caps with the bodies, you can actually do so, which again is another nice feat that I'm not sure that many people have realised here. So I'll put this cap back on. But here you can see that the BENU is a really, BENU Grand Scepter is a really nice pen. Now, I kind of wish that and hope that maybe they bring out the Grand Scepters in these models. And when I say the Grand Scepter, I mean bring these models out with a number 6 size nib, because that's what I'd really like, is to have a number 6 size nib in here. Now, it's entirely possible that I could swap those sections over. I didn't think about that. I wonder if that would actually work. Let's have a look at this, because I might end up actually buying some Grand Scepters and some regular Scepters just because I can swap these over. So let's see if this will work on camera. I didn't even think about this. Wow. It actually works. So that one can now become exactly what I want it to be, a Grand Scepter. And that one can be a regular Scepter. I really like that. Thank you, BENU, for doing that. That actually, now actually saying that, before I do this, let's see, because this is a larger nib, I think that cap's going to go on as well. Let's see. Yes, it does. Wow. Okay. I think I might actually have to buy a few more of these just to swap the nibs and sections out, because that actually makes it more usable for me. I think that's really good. So you saw it here first on camera. You can not only swap the caps around, but you can swap the sections around as well, and the nibs. Now, I wouldn't just try removing the nibs because they are friction fit, and the sections are slightly wider on the Grande or the Grand Scepters to accommodate the wider nib. So I wouldn't just swap those out because they're probably not going to fit too well, I would think. And then finally we have another BENU Grand Scepter, and this is number 11, or XI. And you'll see here this material is quite nice again. And again, a number 6 size nib, and it's a steel Schmidt nib, and again an international converter there with a long international cartridge in the box as well. But you can see here, this is actually for me a really good size pen, and I like this colour as well. I do like that colour, so that to me, I do like the phosphorus, and I'll show you again this phosphorus colour under light here on a photo that I took, and you can just see how that pen glows in the dark. It's actually quite interesting. So again, this pen it's more of a sort of very light turquoisey, sort of greeny, tealy turquoisey colour here, and then it goes down to a lovely bright blue, mid-blue. But then you have this like green glitter going on in this pen, and I think that accentuates the phosphorus ends here, and I think that just works out really well. So that's my comparison of some of the BENU pens I have on loan here. These are on loan from Derek at Stonecott Fine Writing Supplies in the UK. I'd like to thank Derek for loaning many of these pens to me for review. If you'd like to check out any BENU pens in the UK, do go and check out Derek at Stonecott Fine Writing Supplies. He has a website here, and he is also on Instagram as well. Derek is a really nice guy, very accommodating, and carries all of these BENU pens. So I'd like to thank Derek again for supplying these pens for review. And that's my comparison video of some of the BENU pens. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.